Have I got a treat for you today? Instead of the usual yacht tour or sea trial, I am going to be showing you what it is like to live like a king on board one of the most desirable new yachts of the year. This is a brand new Princess Y80. It was launched just a couple of months ago at the Cannes Yachting Festival, and this is hull number one. Now, it belongs to a couple of Finnish guys, but they also run it as a charter business, and very kindly, they've invited us to spend a couple of days on board to get a flavour of what it is all about. Now, it is an $8 million boat. It is available for charter from around about 55,000 euros, and these lovely people here are going to look after us for the next few days. So we have the captain, Paul, here, and Liz, our stewardess, who is going to be looking after us. My name is Hugo Andreae. You're watching Motorboat and Yachting. Let's go boating. So, Liz, could you show us around the boat a little bit?
Yeah, come with me.
Let's have a quick look.
Okay, so this is a saloon.
Fabulous, look at that. Lots of space to chill out in the evenings.
Yeah.
Are you going to be cooking for us?
I am this time, yeah.
Fantastic, so we can eat here at the dining room.
Yeah.
You're going to be on show in the galley?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
There's your galley there.
Excellent. So this is where Paul will be.
Yeah, you've got a day head there as well.
Perfect, look at that. Very civilised. Nice little spot here to hang out. Shall we have a quick look at the accommodation?
Yeah, come. Okay, so this is the master cabin.
Whoa, check that out. Look at that. So you don't mind if I take this cabin then?
No, of course.
Perfect.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
Fantastic.
And here you've got a walk-in wardrobe as well.
Look at that.
There's some gowns there and a safe as well.
Oh my goodness.
You can put your belongings. Dressing table.
Oh, this is properly the life of luxury.
Television, obviously.
Look at the size of that TV, unbelievable.
And the bathroom.
Lovely, let's have a quick look in there. Oh my goodness. This is way bigger than my house at home. Look at that. Fabulous.
Okay, then next you have the starboard cabin. Here. Again.
Whoa. So that's just one of the guest cabins.
Yeah.
That's not even a VIP, is it?
Nope.
Look at that.
So nice and spacious.
Fantastic. All en suite.
Yeah, all en suite.
Beautiful.
And another dressing table here.
Very clever.
Then this is your twin cabin.
My goodness, I should have brought a few more friends. Look at that. Again en suite.
Yeah, again with the en suite there.
Very nice. Oh, I like the teak floor. That's cool. Very nice. Lead on.
And then finally your VIP.
Oh, that's not too shabby either, is it?
No, it's a lovely size.
Check that out. Lovely hull windows too. Wow. Okay.
And again with your bathroom. Nice spacious bathroom.
God, that's a big bathroom, isn't it, for a VIP? Lovely. Welcome aboard, guys. Here's to a very special few days aboard Lumi. Cheers. Here we go. We are officially underway, leaving Calador and heading out to the National Reserve of Cabrera, a little island off Mallorca. But look at Calador. It's such a beautiful marina. It's a long, thin little creek that runs all the way up, lined with boats on either side. And we are definitely one of the bigger boats here at the moment. So Paul is very skillfully taking us out into the main channel and squeezing between all these boats. But what a beautiful spot. Here is the entrance to Calador Marina. There's just a bit of a breeze outside. I can see a few white horses just on the peaks of the waves, so should be a really good test for the boat apart from anything else. We're just passing along the southeast coast of Mallorca and we're heading over to the island of Cabrera, which is just on the horizon over there, about 20 nautical miles away. There is a fairly decent swell out here, and every now and then we get a good burst of spray off the bow. But such a capable boat, it's really good to see it in action. But we're just coming into a little cala here called Cala Figuera, where we're going to grab a bit of shelter from the wind and have a little look-see whilst we're here. But it's all part of the fun of exploring when you're on board a charter yacht. And it's amazing, as we're coming into this cala, the wind is suddenly dropping, the sea is calming down, and it's suddenly like we're entering a completely different world. Now, the further we get into this little cala called Cala Figuera, the more sheltered it gets. And you can see the water is flattening out completely. There's a couple of boats anchored up. One is just heading out in front of us. But that's what's so amazing about Mallorca. There's so many of these beautiful little spots that you can tuck away in. So wherever the wind is blowing, whatever direction it's coming from, there's always a sheltered little spot you can hide away in. And even on a big 80-footer like this, you can always find somewhere to drop the hook and enjoy a bit of perfect peace and calm. And this is where Paul really comes into his own. It's barely wider than the yacht is long, and he's having to spin it round almost within its own length to get out again. It's just a tiny little fishing village, and most of the boats here are kind of 20, 25 foot, and he's come in with a socking great 80-footer. But what a spot. This is one of the absolute prime spots on board, with that beautiful glass balcony, the ensign flying out behind, water streaming back. Even though there's quite a breeze in front of us, you can just kick back and enjoy the view. We've pulled into this little bay just to catch a bit of shelter from the waves and have a spot of lunch, but what I thought I wanted to show you was how the stabilizers keep the whole thing stable. So there's quite a big swell still rolling in, even though we're out of the wind. And if you look down the side of the yacht here, you will see under here are the stabilizers flapping away. It's just down here. Every now and then you'll see a great big fin emerge out the side, and that wash of water that it kicks up is how it enables it to keep the boat upright. So there you go, there's the fin, and down it goes, and there's a little burst of water. And they are flapping away, keeping us nice and stable, and preventing any roll from the swell that's coming into the bay. It's a very clever piece of kit. And this is what we have for lunch on our first day. A beautiful tomato and mozzarella salad in a lovely bay, perfectly prepared in the cockpit. What could be nicer? We've been cruising for about an hour now, and you can just see Mallorca beginning to recede into the distance off our stern. And then if we look forward over the bow, you can see Cabrera just appearing on the horizon. So we've probably got about another 45 minutes to go. We're pounding through quite a big, we've probably got a meter's swell, but it's a rather lovely feeling actually, just a gentle bobbing motion as we push our way through. But hopefully it'll be nice and calm when we get in the lee of the land. Well, here we are just coming into Cabrera. You can see there's some quite remote barren islands, but a really magical national marine park. And the idea is we're going to pick up a buoy, get a bit of shelter from one of these islands and stay here for the night, hopefully have dinner on board, and enjoy the peace of this beautiful little archipelago. And this is Cabrera. This is the bay we're going to pick up a buoy on. You can see the castle up on the hill there, literally built on top of a rock. There's a little light at the entrance to the bay, and then quite a few boats already on the buoys, enjoying the peace of the bay. There's Paul and Liz just picking up the buoy. You can see there's a very thick rope leading off from that, and they're just pulling it up over the bow and making fast. So this will be our spot for the night, which frankly looks pretty damn good. Right under the shadow of the castle itself. Paul has very rapidly launched the little Williams off this hydraulic platform. You can see that's still wet. And he's going to take us for a quick whiz around the bay to go and check out a cave, I believe. And this is where we are for the night. She's such a pretty yacht, the Y80. I can see why people go for the X80 for the extra volume, but for purity of looks, I think the Y80 is definitely the prettier boat. Now this, I think, is the cave that we've come to see, and there's quite a swell, so this could be interesting. But we've taken the steadying pole off just to reduce the height a bit, because it's pretty low in here. But look at that. How extraordinary. We're right inside the cave. There's a strange kind of echo inside. Look at that. We are now inside the cave itself. It's still going. Oh my goodness, it's really quite dark. How cool is that? Now what a lovely sight that is. The lights are on, the sun has set, and we're being welcomed back aboard Lumi with the underwater lights, the backlit nameplate. Looks absolutely beautiful. She is a very, very pretty boat. We're all rather excited about the prospect of having dinner on board and then sleeping in those lovely cabins.
Don't go that way.
Look at that, it's the very end of October and we're swimming in the sea off the back of the boat in 24-degree water.
The shower's on the other side.
It's pretty cool. And now we have dinner in the cockpit. Beautiful gazpacho soup. All very prettily laid up, with this moon shining out over the stern. Oh, it's hiding behind a cloud. Look at that. Check out that paella. What could be more perfect than when you're anchored up in a bay and have a proper Spanish paella? Absolutely beautiful. We've just spent our first night at anchor, and I thought it was really fascinating to see how quiet it is, because the first night always feels a little bit different on a boat. There's strange noises going on, there's movement and so on. But actually, this is remarkably quiet. Just listen to this. All you get is the slight kind of gurgle of water on the hull, which is inevitable on any boat. But most importantly, the generator is on and I can barely hear that. And so are the stabilizers. But because the stabilizers sound like they are fitted under the bathroom or under the engine room rather than in the main cabin, you can't hear them at all, which is a major benefit. What I will do is just show you in the bathroom. If you come in here, you can just hear them. It's a sort of whooshing sound. That noise there. Just hear the slight whoosh of the hydraulics as the fin swishes back and forth, but really lovely to have such a quiet master cabin. Now, the reality of chartering a boat right at the end of October is sometimes you do get some less helpful weather, and we've just been predicted some forecasted winds of about 30 knots this afternoon, so we've hightailed it back from Cabrera to the safety of Calador, where we're going to spend the night on the berth here, nice and calm. But of course, actually, that's part of the fun. You get to stay in a marina, and Calador is a fabulous marina full of interesting motorboats. You've also got a really nice bit of nightlife and restaurants and so on. So, you know what, this is all part of the enjoyment. You can get to have a good look around the marina, check out some of the bars and restaurants, have a good wander around, see all the boats here. That's all part of the fun of it. I'm quite looking forward to it. Now, this is where the captain really starts to earn his money. This is the berth we're aiming for. Just wide enough for the boat. We've got a Pearl 72 on our port side and a Pershing, looks like a 70 something to starboard. Paul is using the yacht controller. We haven't got a third station down in the cockpit, so he's doing it all using a little handheld remote control. Very skillfully done. Let's go and see the master at work. All from this tiny little controller. Got the engines and the thrusters. Very, very delicate. Look at that, that is quite a skill. Not a lot of space to spare on either side. And there is Liz, ready and waiting with her gloves on to pick up the dreaded slime line. Just coiling our stern line, ready to pass to the Marinero. There we go, line's gone ashore. Another one is there waiting. Good throw, nicely done. That's the two stern lines. And we're picking up the lazy line. See the Marinero just pulling that up so that it comes up to Liz. She's got that now. We'll have to work that away. Moving it up the side deck. Yeah, there we go. Taking the line, the bow line now. And Liz has the second one. And then tighten those up at the bow, and that's what keeps us off the dock, off the quay at the stern. And that is how you moor an 80-footer stern to in a narrow berth in the Mediterranean. Now, one of the rather fun features of this boat is how many clever gadgets there are, like this table. So we're all laid up for breakfast. It's right over at the window side. And then with a little bit of pressing from a button up here, the whole thing eases out electrically, and now there's space for us all to sit around it. So just show you that move a little bit more. Look at that. How clever is that? Now there's room for all of us to sit around the table and enjoy another glorious breakfast that Liz has very kindly prepared for us. Let's get stuck in.
Looks pretty.
Well, after a very chilled night in Calador Marina, the sun has come out again, and we're now heading out for a day at the sea. We're probably going to pop round into one of the calas round the corner, hopefully get out the toys and enjoy a proper summer day's cruising right at the beginning of November. Because it's been quite windy for the last sort of 24 hours or so, there's still quite a big residual swell. We've probably got a metre and a bit, but the boat is handling it absolutely beautifully with the stabilisers on. It obviously doesn't kill the motion up and down, but there's no movement side to side at all. There's no roll. It's just that gentle pitching as we bob up and down over the waves. We're just pulling into a bay called Mondrago, where hopefully we're going to find a bit of shelter, drop the hook, and get some of the toys out and perhaps enjoy some of this famous Mallorcan water. This is our spot. Liz is letting the anchor out. We're right up at the head of the colour, where the two different branches join together, and we're pretty much filling the whole spot. What an amazing little corner to tuck away in, and what skill from Paul to fit the 80-foot boat right up into this little creek. But that is truly a magical spot. Now, this is always fun, watching the hydraulic platform drop down into the sea. We've already taken the straps off the tender, and now it's just a question of lowering it into the water, firing up the engine, and then literally driving off. Here it goes, engine started, just dipping into the water. It's just bouncing on the chocks at the moment, and then away, off it goes. How cool is that? I've seen photographs and heard people talk about Mondrago as being one of the prettiest bays in Mallorca. And I think you can see for yourself that they've got a point. Look at the colour of this water. It is absolutely luminescent turquoise. We've got beautiful white sandy beaches on either side and a very, very pretty boat. And we have absolutely nailed the prime position. It feels almost rude to be taking quite such a perfect spot. But when you've got a boat that looks that good, I don't think you can really hold it against anyone. And given that this is the beginning of November, that is pretty stunning conditions. The sun is out, the water's calm, just the little wisps of white fluffy cloud in the sky, and a perfect boat in a perfect spot. Wow. You know what? Sometimes luck is just shining on you, and it would be rude not to take advantage of it. Paul's just taken us on a little run around the corner into an even narrower little strip of the Mondrago. There's a beautiful stone house up on the promontory here, and the water here is a spectacular colour. Look at that. Absolutely clear as gin, and the colour of ice or very pale sapphire. It is absolutely beautiful. The rock formations are here are so dramatic. There's lots of little caves and arches. You can see right in there. And right into one of the caves. Oh my goodness. It's actually an arch. It goes all the way through there. Look at that. That is pretty spectacular. And also a man who's very confident in handling a small Richard Williams jet rig. Check that out. Now, if you've never had a go on a sea bob, they are such fun. You've got a lithium-ion battery, a water jet, and a completely waterproof toy that you can go underwater on. So if I whack the speed up, then I can plunge underwater. And it'll sail along underwater, above the water. It's a brilliant little toy. And they're so easy to use as well. Look at that. Ideal conditions. Lovely clear water.
What did you say?
This is where we hope the swimming costume doesn't fly off. Good fun?
It's brilliant. What a laugh.
Good toy, isn't it?
It's brilliant. Oh,
I think that's an official thumbs up for the Seabob.
oh, that is really good fun.
Oh, it's really fun, isn't it?
Paul has just dropped us off in the Williams. He very cleverly brought us alongside and just popped us onto the rock so that we could get a bit of a better view of the bay. And look how pretty it is. There's these two branches of the Cala. One goes up there to a little beach and one runs up behind the boat there. But perfectly sheltered from the breeze. And very pretty surroundings. Now this is what you call service. We've had a lovely walk around the bay and Paul is coming to pick us up from the other side of the bay where we found a little mini boathouse and slipway. And it's like our very own little limo service coming to scoop us up. And this is where the skill of the driver comes in. Hops on. Properly skilled driving. And then one more, we're in. Thank you, Paul.
No problem.
What service?
Taxi.
Now I know we shouldn't be surprised at getting another magnificent meal, but at some point in every charter holiday you need to have lunch on the flybridge. But what a view when you come back and find that waiting for you. Beautifully sliced avocado, smoked salmon, fresh green olives, hummus, roast potatoes. That is a feast for champions. We're just lifting up the anchor to head round from Cala Mondrago to Porto Petro. And we're in the tender and going to try and track alongside and show you what Lumi looks like underway. And there she is, running at about 10 knots. Looking very pretty indeed. Here she comes, just gliding gently into Porto Petro. This is quite fun to watch. So the harbour master has come along to help with the mooring. He's picked up the little lead line with a smaller buoy on, and I think he's going to try and pass it up to Liz, who can put a couple of bow lines through it, centre it up, and hopefully keep us safe for the night. There goes the line. Through the loop. Now he's going to have to throw it back up. Beautifully done. There's even a little bit of evening sun just lighting up the scene. And that is how you pick up a mooring buoy in the Mediterranean. And this is our mooring spot for the night. We're dead centre between the two headlands. Got a little village behind us here. You can see an old ruins of a castle or something on the rock just in front of us. But hopefully we'll have a quiet night on the mooring buoy here. Another glorious spot. Well, we've just made our way back to Calador after a night on a buoy in Porto Petro, and the wind is just starting to pick up quite a lot, so we're going to sneak back in. But it is a really lovely spot, Calador. Look at some of those private villas along the shoreline. And what a remarkable few days we've had. For the beginning of November, Mallorca is looking pretty damn gorgeous. And Lumi, the Princess Y80 we've been on, is an absolute star. It is such a comfortable charter boat with such a lovely crew to look after you that it is an experience to treasure, and I don't think we will ever forget it. We have had an amazing few days on board, getting a taster of what it's like to charter a boat as beautiful as Lumi, this Princess Y80 that's fresh out of the factory. But it's not just the magic of the boat itself, it's the people who look after you that really make the memories. And Paul here and Liz have done an absolutely fantastic job of looking after us. Paul has always kept us safe. He's taken us to a load of different places, given us lots of different experiences. And Liz has been both a chef, a stewardess, an all-round angel looking after us all. So thank you both very much for the flavour that you've given us. But Paul, what would it normally cost to charter a yacht like this for a full week?
Well, on low season, you're 55,000.
Right.
And on high season, you're 70,000.
And what does that cover?
That covers your local berth, your fuel, your local berth, fuel is extra, APA is extra, your provisions extra.
So typically what should you allow for that?
Maybe another 10,000 euros.
Slightly depending on what you eat and how far you go.
And it depends on how you want to go with the champagne and things.
Yeah, pretty hard, I imagine.
yeah.
And on a typical week, what would you try and fit in?
It's always good to do a full lap of the island because you get to see a bit of everything.
Yeah.
Like the mountains are fantastic. When you go to Tramontara, mountain range are beautiful.
Right.
Beautiful.
And if people want to find out a bit more, where should they go to look?
Just go and look at our website, on Lumi website.
So Lumi.yachts is the website?
That's the website, yeah.
And if they want to email you, your details will be on there and
No,
you can
that's
give them a
correct,
bit more.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you both. It has been such a magical few days for all of us. I think for the time we've been on the yacht, it feels like we've been away way longer than we have. It's such a good way to totally escape your everyday life, see so many different things, experience a completely different place every night, and be fabulously looked after.
No, it is an amazing experience.
It is truly unforgettable.
Yeah. So
Thank you very much.
No, it's been a pleasure. Been a pleasure.
Thank you. Please
you.
thank your boss very much for letting us borrow his wonderful boat for a few days.
We will do that.
I cannot think of a finer boat or a lovelier crew to look after you. So if any of you out there are considering a charter in Mallorca, these are the guys to come to.